In the Oti region, the Security Council is assessing the situation in Nkwanta to determine whether basic schools should also be shut down following renewed communal violence in the area. This comes after 2 students were killed and 3 others injured in separate incidents, one shot while in class and another on her way to school. The Nkwanta Senior High School has already been closed as a precaution. 10 people have been arrested so far in connection with the violence, and we've been joined, we'll be joined shortly by the regional minister, but we have on the line Dr. Peter Anti, Executive Director for the Institute for Education Studies, and I think he's really concerned about the education of the students in the area. Dr. Anti, we're grateful for your time.
Thank you and good morning.
Good morning. You are quite concerned about education in violence-stricken areas, especially in Nkwanta. You've been proffering some solutions to this. What should government do?
It's unfortunate that we've not been able to put together a very comprehensive policy in terms of offering education to people who found themselves in areas, conflict zones, areas where there have been natural disasters and other things like that. We thought that the government would have learned from the challenges that our education system faced during the COVID period and would have developed a robust system that would kick in anytime there is an emergency situation in a community. As it stands now, we have closed the senior high school, but students are preparing to write WASI. They will write the same exams like their colleagues all over the country. This means that providing education in times of emergency is very, very important. By this time, if we had a very robust policy, we would have opened up that particular policy, and then we will see students being offered alternative routes to access quality education through online platforms, through other avenues that we have created to serve our students when they are in an emergency situation. We do not have something robust like that, and it's very unfortunate because the students are the ones who are going to suffer at the end of the day.
Exactly what will make up this robust, situation you're talking about?
Well, what we are thinking is that at least at this time, the Ministry of Education, alongside with now they have the Ministry of Education TV channel, then we have what we call the SENDLAWs, should be putting together certain online platforms available to students, especially the final year students in Nkwanta Senior High School, where they can quickly hook on to an online platform and their teachers will be able to still engage them during this period. This is what we are expecting the ministry to do as a matter of urgency. But this is not even only in Nkwanta, but we are discussing Nkwanta. Boko has been there since years, and students have hardly had any proper quality education. So it's a matter of putting together this system to serve anytime there is an emergency situation in the community, so that the learning of the child is not curtailed because of the conflicts or the emergency situation that the community is experiencing. So we are expecting government to roll out an online platform to quickly hook on teachers and students in Nkwanta Senior High School, so that especially the final year students, I will keep saying the final year students because they have less than a month to start their exams, so that they can still engage the students and prepare them for their exams, rather than just leaving them in the house and leaving them to their fate.
Well, such a situation is currently not in place, and the children, are also not in school. What then can they do, or even their parents in their own way, or even the Ghana Education Service in its own way, try to help these children? If they can't go to school, they don't have an online platform now. What else can they do?
Well, for parents, I think that they would have to encourage their wards to start personal studies. They would, of course, you cannot even step out in the community looking at the nature of the conflict. So they would have to encourage their students to step up their personal studies, get them relevant books for them. I know that Joy News, you have the Joy Learning platform, which is running. I think they can also hook them to those platforms, unfortunately, you wouldn't know the content that is being presented there, because these are definitely final year students who will need a certain level of content. And that is why these things should be in place, so that as soon as there is a need to provide emergency, we just kick in the plan system, and the students are still able to continue the education. For the students, I think that they know that the stakes are high. They are preparing for WASI, which is a determinant to their future educational journey. So they should start studying, revising their notes, and then going online to find information where necessary. GES and the Ministry of Education would need to, as a matter of urgency, link up with other stakeholders to roll out an online platform, as I've already indicated, within the possible shortest possible time, and then let this information get across to all students within the Nkwanta vicinity, so that they will be able to continue the education. But I think that there's a little that we can do. I mean, as individuals, there's a little that we can do, but we should not also sit aloof and let these students suffer. I mean, let the education of these children suffer.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, these are interesting ideas that I believe government should consider. But you see, how about the security situation as well? These children can themselves also learn some form of security, measures, put themselves in a situation that will help them to be able to assess the situation and also keep alert. But thank you very much for your time on our desk, Peter Anti, and I think that we'll put this to the minister when we get him. I understand we have the minister on the line, Mr. John Kwejo Japo. We're grateful for your time on our desk. What is the current situation in Nkwanta as we speak?
The current situation in Nkwanta is cool now. When you talk about Nkwanta town, I think there is some peace there. Everybody is going about his work normally. Then in other areas, for now, haven't heard bad news. So when it's about the current, I think the current situation is okay. There's no problem. We haven't seen anywhere. But yesterday was a bad day. Yesterday was bad, where reports about 4 deaths in Nkwanta municipality. One person died in Kiri, and then 3 people were killed tonight. Yes, in the
Mr. Japong, I will need you to kindly position yourself well for me so that we have a stable line to you.
Yeah, I'm in my office.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Now, you were considering with your Regional Security Council to shut down basic schools. Has that decision been made yet?
Oh, yeah, we have made the schools are closed down in Nkwanta town and its environment. Yeah, wherever these issues are happening, the schools have been shut down. And when you come to Nkwanta, other businesses are also closed down their work. All the banks that work in Nkwanta are closed down. The system are also closed down, and people are leaving the town, the municipality. Yeah.
Well, how serious then is, I mean, closing down schools, closing down, companies and workplaces indicates the severity of the situation. What really caused this renewed communal violence?
Yeah, it is a serious situation down here, and the best thing we can do is to close down the schools, especially when a student had to die through a stray bullet on Friday. We think that the best thing to do is to close down, and any other institution that that wants to close down should also do that until there's peace in the area. Initially, what happened was that somewhere last, he fight all ethnic groups in Nkwanta. There are 3 ethnic groups in him. And any they celebrate this young festival. There are issues that come up. People are killed and a lot of things are done in the area. So Respect agreed that this year there shouldn't be any festival in Nkwanta town. If you want to do your festival, please go to our Prahu and do your festival. If you want anything, but don't do it Nkwanta. And we found, peace in Nkwanta. They all agreed to that one. Everybody was happy about the decision. Only to, back on Wednesday, where a group of them on Ed group decided to form ritual market. And they have some rituals, young brought the market, and when the rituals were going on, other group members asked that, we have gone to the regional minister to Miller, and we have agreed that for the anything like in Nkwanta town this particular year until there's peace in the area, nobody should do all this. The gentleman just asked this question, and the group that went to do the ritual went back and mobilized themselves to come to attack these two guys. Unfortunately, when they came, the two guys had fled. They were not there, and they started shooting. So when they started shooting, police and soldiers heard it, and they went there to see if they can bring some to the area.
Right.
While they were there, they were still shooting at the police and the military. So they also opened fire, and they had to retreat and run away into the bush. In the course of that, in the course of their shooting, 3 people, were hit with stray bullets. We lost one of them, and two of them have survived it in the hospital.
Right.
And that was on Thursday.
That's an unfortunate situation, but really, another issue that's coming up is these children are at home. What is the measures that have been put in place to at least help them continue learning whilst they are still at home?
Yeah, the best thing now to do is to see that every child is safe with the parents now. Because in the course of the day, nobody knew that a secondary school student who was writing his mock examination would be hit by a stray bullet. And that person died, and it aggravated the whole story again. Unfortunately, that was a Konkoma boy who was, shot and he died, by a stray bullet. And then the whole thing has been aggravated. It has gone up, the tension has built up, and a lot of things are happening in the Nkwanta municipality. So the best thing for us to do is to close down all schools so that we don't again get any unfortunate situation like what has happened. And that is it. I think that the best thing to do now is to save the students than to say that they should go to school because they have to learn.
Well, they are not in school. We understand that for security reasons, but is there going to be some form of online platform for them to at least keep up with their studies?
Unfortunately, maybe we have to ask the Minister of Education about that. There's nothing like that yet. There's nothing like that. We are now confronted with the situation that we have.
Okay.
And we have to calm down the people, and there should be peace in the area. Right. That is our agenda now.
Well, just before I let you off, you made some arrests too yesterday. What has become of those suspects?
Which one? Can I hear you?
Yes, I'm asking about the suspects you picked up yesterday in connection with the violence.
Yeah. We picked about 8 of them. We sent them to Accra, and they are working on it.
Right. Yeah. All right. We're grateful, Dr. John Kwajujapo. He's the OT Regional Minister, giving us updates from OT. But we're also joined by security analyst, Dr. Victor Dockett. Doc, thank you for being on our desk this morning. With the Nkwanta situation,
good morning.
It's lingered for years. You know about this. What really should be done to quell this outright?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Good morning once again. I think this clearly shows that there's a fundamental challenge with regards to resolution or addressing communal conflicts for that matter. How do you even implement mechanisms such as the early warning systems to identify that there's something in the offing for you to preempt and then deploy quickly as possible, or send emissaries for them to engage in, dialogue with the factions? That is very lacking, and it shows or it's evident in most of all the conflicts that we're experiencing in the country. Now, going forward, we have a new crop of administration in place. You talk about the chief justice minister, interior minister, defense minister, and whatnot. It shows that there may be some new ideas with regards to how to address these issues, be it ethnic conflicts or communal conflict between two groups or whatever. So what we need to do is to engage holistically. Now, the stakeholders in the contact area need to identify that those who are supporting the factions are not doing any good. How about we identify them and involve them in a dialogue, and then also make them understand that their support to the factions is not helping the situation. Now you have schools closed, there are various, amenities closed down, which is not helping anybody. So I think we need to attack the situation head on, get the stakeholders together, and then address the issues once and for all. Implementation of the policies that have been there. Okay, it's as if the direct prevention measure, the curfews, are somewhat what we always would implement, which is not bad in itself. But then how do we ensure that we pick up the early warning signs early enough to be able to address the issue before it gets to this particular position? Now, when it comes to criminal issues, those who have been arrested, the law should deal with them. We wouldn't have a situation whereby they are in custody, investigations are ongoing, and then the traditional authorities come to seek leniency or whatever. That shouldn't happen this time. Now, if we are able to prosecute those who are found guilty, then it sends a signal to those other youths involved in a situation that the law will take up with you when you flout. And as the curfew is being imposed now, there should be dialogue behind the scenes so that the factions, all stakeholders can now iron out. We need an approach that would address the situation once and for all. And
Right.
who knows, this approach can be implemented elsewhere in other conflict situations to address it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Victor Doke, security
You're welcome.
analyst, who joined us on the Nkwanta situation. Well.